Hello, this is a video about what Microsoft should change about the Xbox 360 controller. Okay, in outline, the 360 controller is not ideal for first-person shooters and strategy games, though some simple redesign could change that. Well, first off, let's talk about the mind and the controller. Game generally decides controller setup, and the 360 controller works greater than mouse and keyboard in all genres except first-person shooters and strategy games. The controller works so well in those other game genres because the controller works really well as a physical representation of the primary interactive elements in the game. As an example, your character's foot's in Mass Effect 2 represented by the left thumbstick. Some examples: the left thumbstick usually only tracks X and Y coordinates in-game, but the physical thumbstick itself, the one under your thumb, detects X, Y, and Z coordinates due to its design. It is all to do with its design. It does not correspond exactly to what you are doing in your X and Y coordinates in game. You have an extra coordinate on, when you are moving the thumbstick, and that is a mess. That is why you are dying too often in games. It does that because the thumbstick's movement directions form a virtual hemispherical realm of movement due to the Z coordinate. This hemispherical nature of the thumbstick is at the core of the right thumbstick's unwieldiness, and the reason you suffer unnecessary deaths in, as an example, Modern Warfare. In adventure games, the thumbstick is a representation of your in-game character, though the right thumbstick controlling the head can be problematic at times even in those games. The precision problem. The precision problem now arrives. The thumbstick controlling the character's legs in first-person shooters works well because the hemispherical movement of the thumbstick feels fairly natural. It's not, a disaster. Though the big problem arises with the right thumbstick controlling your head/cursor. In contrast with other actions in-game, the cursor does not itself recognize death. In the 3D environment, it is very important now for you to understand the difference between the 3D environment in-game and how you are moving the thumbstick on your controller. That is the big, the thing to get here. When you are moving the physical thumbstick, you are moving in an extra coordinate that makes you feel like, I did not want the cursor to go there in the game. I wanted to shoot that guy. Okay? Even when you are using a sniper rifle in a game, you're actually not you're actually fixed. It's fixed on, the vertical wall in front of you that I talked about in the last video that was kind of introductory. The cursor is fixed in a two-dimensional plane X and Y coordinates with the rectangular shape of your LCD TV as its true space. Also with X and Y coordinates. The thumbstick controlling your cursor becomes a very unnatural representation of that 2D plane, because the thumbstick moves within a virtual hemisphere, and your TV is certainly not shaped like that. You do not have a TV shaped like a virtual hemisphere, like, the half side of, the moon or something like that. Okay, so why do games work so well on PC? Games that require precision. Why do they work so well on PC? That is the question. Well, the answer is this. The reason the mouse feels so natural, the reason it's so lovable to play those strategy games on your PC, to play SimCity on your PC, why that is so lovable compared to anything done on a console, is due to the fact that you move the mouse on a flat two-dimensional surface. And that flat square surface is a really good representation of your TV screen. You have a correspondence within which you move the cursor in 2D. When you, as an example, want the cursor to go down left, you naturally move your mouse in that direction. So, you see the analogy between figure 3, which is the TV, and the PC mouse on the mouse pad. Figure 4, you see the analogy there. There's this, you see it, right? Yeah, you are seeing it, you know this. And now let's talk about how to change this, and that is the introduction of touch screen on the 360 controller. Touch screen, that is the answer. So the solution consists in being able to redesign a 2D surface representation on the 360 controller that replaces the unwieldy thumbstick. Of course, while at the same time retaining its brilliance in those other genres, retaining what the controller does so well in all those other genres. As you can see in the image below, in this image of the redesigned controller, is that the right thumbstick has been replaced by a touch screen that will track the movements of your thumb. So your thumb is, so to speak, the mouse, and the touch screen is, so to speak, the mouse pad. You see? So you get that precision going on, and you're gonna rock. And that will give you a far greater accuracy than you can ever have with that unwieldy thumbstick. The great benefit of touchscreen technology is that it could potentially be even more tactile and precise than a standard PC mouse. You see the analogy between the image of the controller and the image of the touchscreen on the controller and the image of the PC, right? The PC LCD screen. Of course, that is also TV though. Anyway, there is one problem that pops up, and that is that the R3 button, and if you are going to completely redesign and also remove the left thumbstick, which also would be beneficial, R3 and L3 will have to be put in another place. Although that's the easy part. That can also be on the touchscreen if you push hard. There's a lot of ways to do this. The current proliferation of touchscreen technology means that it is getting increasingly economical to integrate into the present-day controllers, and you could have your controller 2.0 if the console manufacturers out there see that point, because they are now completely into casual gaming. As hardcore gamers, we have to stand up now. This is our time to make our voices heard, because they haven't done anything with our controllers. They have been lazy with the controllers we are using. We are using the same thing we used in the previous generation. That is not good. Of course, yeah, you do have motion on the 6-axis controller, although how good is it really to have that? Play Dragon Lair and find out. Okay, though it works.